Hello everyone, I am going to show you how to create a Google site. So the first thing you need to do is go ahead and log on. So go to just Google, Spine, Gmail, whatever you're going to log in as, and sign in. If you don't have an account, go ahead and create one because you're going to want to use this for future tendencies. So I'm just going to click here and sign in. So to go to sites, just go up here and type sites.google.com. And so this will take you to your site. So if you haven't created one, you'll have nothing. As you can see, I've had many. So what we're going to do is we're going to build one for your digital library. Now, the digital libraries are going to be a database that you can use as you go on. In fact, you can add to them. So to give you an idea, when I created it when I was going to school, I had just a few things in there, and now you can see mine, which is also on your thing, and I have a massive amount of interactives and information on here that I can use. So what you're going to do is you're going to create your own. So first go to create. Now you can choose one if you want. Name your site. So this is, I'm going to say digital library. (2016). So whatever one you want, you can create. If you want to select a theme, I'm going to go with notebook paper. Then go down, and I am not a robot, and create. So create your own name, something that you'll remember. So here's my page now. So what you're going to do is you're going to build this. Now the best way to look is right up here. These are your major tools. So the pen will be the one to create. So welcome to my digital library. And you can create whatever you want. If you want to add a picture to your first page, just click on image. Let's upload a funny picture. How about funny? That's always a good one to do. There we go. Warning, if zombies are chasing you, I will trip you. So however you want to put it. To save it, you just hit the save button. So now that's my home page. Now to add your pages, here's what you're going to do. You're going to use this to create a page. Now since you have to have 5 subcategories, pick 5 subcategories. So math, basic, algebra. And then hit create. So what it's going to do is that's going to create it right here. So you can do that for each one. So let's do another one for math, college. Now let's do adding and subtracting. So now you'll see we have 2 of them. Now to do anything to them, it'll be just the same thing. This is your button. So when you click on each one, it'll go to whichever page you're on. So click this. So edit. So this page links to videos, interactives, and other tools to help with the learning, adding and subtracting. So if you ever see anything like this, oops, I spelled that wrong, just right click it. You can correct it. This one is just, it's never an S for them, so we can just leave that. So now you're going to create your links. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to search for them. Now there's a lot of ways you can do this. Merlot, type that and you're going to go to right here, Merlot number 2. Not the wine, but actually the website. This is a creation that are used for teachers to be able to use in their classrooms. So when you click on Merlot 2, this is a massive database of online teaching techniques, tutorials, everything you might need to know. Most of them you're going to find in here. So if you click search, it's going to open up to a page that you can browse for materials. So I'm going to go browse all materials. And what's going to happen is you're going to see all this over here. These are all the areas where you're going to find the information. So I'm just going to click on math since that's what I'm doing right now. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff. So click on math, keep going down. The more you click, the more specific it'll get. So you can see, okay, here's algebra, analysis, mathematical, applied mathematics, discrete mathematics, geometry, pre-calculus, everything is right here. Developmental math, general. Let's go in there and see what we can find. So we got the history, we got consumer. So we say, well, you know, consumer may have some of it just because it's the basics. So adding oranges and pears. Okay, so this says it's a simulation. So this is something we can use. So just click on it, and it opens to here, gives a little information, and then just click Go to Material. So what you can do is say, okay, this is something that I can use. So new problem, you can just keep clicking so that they can use this. So that you say, hey, this is something good for my class. So what you're going to do is you're going to click up here on the address, and then hit the Control-C button to copy the link. Then go back to your page. So let's type adding apples, oranges, and pears. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that. So just cover the whole thing, and then you're going to come up here, and this is what you want to click. So click this to add a link, then web address, and then Control-V to paste it down there, and then open into a new link. Then hit OK, so it shows that there's a link, and then you're going to give it information. This is a basic simulation to helping children learn to add multiple numbers. This is best for the early grades from K through 3. Makes it possible to change the problem by clicking a simple button. Alright, and then this is a great tool to helping students learn on their own outside of class. Alright, so let's put that one. So there's one. Now to save it, all you do is click up here and click save. Now what's going to happen is when it does that, see, it just has a nice little layout. So now when we click this, it'll open in its own page. So we can go back, okay? Let's go back and see what else we find. So we have apples and oranges for other things. Math, quizzes, problems. So we say, okay, I don't see anything else in here I really want. So I'm going to go back to mathematics. And I'm going to go to foundations, because this is pretty much a foundation of aspects. So you can look in here. Oh, look, there's the Khan Academy. That was in your textbook. So let's go to this. And we say, wow, this has a whole bunch of material. Just come up here and type this. And look at there. Okay, let's go to early math. So here's a bunch of different things you could use. Okay, so adding and subtracting within 100. So you could do the same thing, copy and paste, go to edit, adding and subtract, make sure we put a space in between that. So go ahead and do the same thing. Let's add that as a link. Open this in a new one. And there you go. So then you would just do that. This is a basic simulation. So if we click on it, let's go to just practice it. So we see it has videos that we can use, and there's practice, so that's the kind of stuff that we'll put in there. So this is a tutorial website through the Khan Academy that has video tutorials and practice locations to help students learn the topic. And then you'll keep going. This specific link will help with kids in the, say, 2 through 6 grades. There are others on this page that can help other ages as well. So whatever, you're going to just type this stuff in and hit save, and there's yours. So then you can go to other ones and you can do the same thing, really use these websites. So let's say that we're going to go back and we'd say, okay, I want to also have one for, let's say we're going to do some developmental math because that's pretty, it has some pre-algebra kind of stuff in it. So for our basic algebra, now we have more. So you see we have tutorials in here, we have drills and practices. There's others, so there's tutorial, drill, practice, collection, which means there's a whole bunch of stuff. So you can do that. Now another thing you can do to search is when you're looking for an interactive, there's a couple different things you can use. So let's say adding and subtracting, then do SWF. That means it's going to be a flash file. So when you search, what you're going to find is some of this kind of stuff. So here's adding and subtracting integers. Okay, let's click that. Oh, there's a nice little cool activity that you can use for it. So you can sit here and say, okay, that is incorrect. See what I mean? Makes it kind of interesting. So what you're going to do is when you find something like this, you'll do the same thing. You'll copy this. Now this shows its education place. Now the best way to do this is when you go to the beginning, here's the title. So when you go in here, it'd be, let's go back to adding and subtracting. So now we would just do and then the same thing. We're going to paste in the link as a web address. Oops, it's not the link. And you're going to put in your stuff and things like that. So when you're doing this, one thing you'll notice is that using SWF will give you a whole bunch of flash things. So let's say basic algebra. Oops, if I can spell it right. There we go. So here's some pre-tests that are online. Here's algebra versus the cockroaches. So all of these are interactive things that can help students learn. So you can use this as a way to search the internet to find some cool little ways in order to get started. So this one is a game. So you can also do things like, let's say, geometry tutorials. And you're going to get the same thing. So there's the Khan. Here's free geometry tutorials. Here's free geometry tutorials. So this is going to give you a way to search for all kinds of stuff that you can use in your digital library. So let's do science. If you think about science, well, that one that we've been using, that's going to be a pretty massive one as well. So if we remember, go back to Merlot. So let's click material results. Let's go to a different one. So you want to be a science teacher. Well, here's science and technology. So now you can search within there. So if you want, let's say you want just general science for K through 12, or for K through 6 actually. So you can look in here and then figure out which you're going to talk about. So here's biology, here's chemistry, astronomy. So you're going to have all these things right at your fingertip to find information on. So here's tutorials, collections, meaning here's a whole bunch of activities for teachers on the web. So you just click it and then click the go to material. And it's going to take you, this one, to PBS to get all kinds of resources for teachers. So this is a place to go to get everything you could possibly imagine. So the same thing with the arts. If you want to be, so let's go with an art teacher. You can do the same thing with all of your sources. So here's art education. So let's say you want to be an art teacher. Well, here's some stuff. There's sculpture, there's painting. So here's the Google Art Project. This is actually pretty amazing for people who want to be teachers. You go to this and you go to the material, and there's things like walking through the Eiffel Tower, how the Eiffel Tower was built. There's trips to museums. This is something that you'd find on my collection. So you go to collection and you can do museum views only, where you'll actually get to walk through a museum. So there are, hundreds of different ones in here. So like, give you an idea, there's the Cincinnati Art Museum. But let's go all the way down to Versailles. Palace of Versailles. There we go. So what happens is with these, when you click these, you actually are standing there, and it's a virtual trip. So there's the Palace of Versailles. So you can go in and you can see what it was like. You can walk around. And then you can move into the next one by clicking the button, and you're in a new spot. This is actually one of my favorite palaces. So it gives you the ability to walk around different areas as well. So here now we're in the museum. So here's all the areas in the museum. So this is the Hall of Mirrors. And you can do a lot of things. You can look up and say, okay, I'm going to drag the screen. I'm going to look up. And I'm going to zoom in because I want to see that a little bit closer. So you can zoom in. And you can do these for a lot of them. So if you're an art teacher, this would be a great one. So there's many, many museums through that. You can also look at things like, well, here's basic drawing and painting. There's sculptures, here's photography, there's a music section. So say you want to teach music. There's a whole bunch of simulations, collections. You'll be able to find something for every discipline you teach in here. And you can do the same thing. So let's say music, education, SWF. See what comes up. So here is educational games and archives, a glossary of musical terms. So you can click that. That one's not found. Oops, I just closed it. You can do all kinds of things with this. So these are the ways to find your resources. So what you're going to do is you're going to create it on here. Feel free to make it all snazzy. Let's add an image, and I'm going to say from a website because I don't have any math. Let's do go to math, let's go to images, and I'm going to use, this one is adding and subtracting, so how about we find something with adding and subtracting. Let's just do math rocks instead. So let's copy link address, go there, post the link address. Or to make it easier so you don't even have to worry about links, just click it, then say save image, Math Rocks, then go back to your page, insert image, then do the same thing. Let's see, this is Math Rocks, and save. So you can make it kind of cool looking. Now this is going to be great because this is something you can use throughout your entire education. So I definitely say take this assignment very seriously because this is going to be a big one that you're going to use for years. So you can continue to add on it until you get ones that look like mine where you have tons and tons and tons of things. And these are just ones I use in my class. This isn't even my full database. This is just for our class. So that's the basics. If you have any questions, just email me. This is the best way to do it, so I definitely suggest that you use this.